What we know?
I know everything.
I don't know nothing. I'm trying to find out what I know. Enlighten me.
What you mean enlighten me? You for Devin Easy, you could for me.
You jumped up out of my sanction body to go fight in the IBF. So what I know?
Jaron Boots Ennis has always been throwing words about his frustration with Terence Crawford.
Go to sleep.
Go ahead.
You dreaming, man. You talking in your dreams,
don't
man.
Want my fight. Yeah, we asked for that fight plenty of times, yo.
When?
Ennis accused Crawford of avoiding him, claiming that Crawford was dodging a fight that could solidify Ennis as one of the top fighters in the sport.
We already know he's not about what he's talking about.
I'm not about what? I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
You said I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
Man, go to sleep.
Now, this tension is not building up so well, resulting in Ennis attacking Crawford in an airport. It is in between the rivalry between Ennis and Crawford that led to the heated confrontation. The reason behind the attack, according to Ennis, was to let Crawford know that he is indeed scared of him.
You know what was going to happen next, but it's cool though. You know, I'm not mad at him.
You've been ducking me because you're scared, Ennis said. Terence, on the other hand, has always believed that a fight with Ennis is not as interesting as, well, the other fights he is thinking of.
We've seen that he was a little bit difficult at some points. You know, he tried to go in there and bang a little bit, but, you know, the body shots started to work in your favor. What was it that you noticed at certain points in the fight? Like, okay, I know he can't handle my power.
However, Ennis saw this as just a lame excuse, saying, you say you want to leave a legacy, but you abide by fights? You're gonna leave a legacy fighting, not ducking fights? This unexpected brawl was perhaps even further fueled from the comments Crawford made after Jaron's fight against David just recently.
In the WBA or not?
Yo, it don't even matter. Yo,
all right, catch up, little homie. Catch up then. If it don't matter, catch up.
Yo, he picked Evan
Catch up.
Evan Easy was way under.
But before that, the tension between these two fighters has been building for some time. It all started when Ennis was awarded the IBF welterweight title after Crawford was stripped of it. This happened because Crawford, who was the undisputed champion at the time, chose to honor his agreement for a rematch with Errol Spence instead of fighting Ennis, who was the mandatory challenger.
And here comes Spence though as Crawford, and down goes Spence for the second time in the fight, and Spence is hurt.
The first fight between Crawford and Spence in July 2023 was a huge event, establishing Crawford as the best fighter in the world. However, the anticipated rematch has yet to happen. Instead, Crawford has signed to fight Israel Madrimov for the WBA light middleweight title in Los Angeles on August. This move has left fans and fighters alike wondering why Crawford is not facing Ennis.
World-class Honda? What does he even mean?
Yeah, he said world-class fighter. I guess he's trying to say if you're a world-class fighter.
Ennis, on the other hand, was preparing for his first defense of the IBF welterweight title. He was set to fight Cody Crowley, a 31-year-old fighter from Canada, in his hometown of Philadelphia. This fight was scheduled to take place shortly before Crawford's bout with Madrimov. Ennis has expressed his disappointment about the situation. He said, "I wanted that fight. It definitely was not frustrating, but it was weird. I don't know what's going on. Boxing is a weird game, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you really can do. You can't control it, so I'm not going to try."
That's the fight that everybody want to see.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Do you respect him as like when he's like, I got a couple fights left, I'm at the end, I'm only trying to get mega fights, so
I understand it.
He firmly believes that he is Crawford's toughest potential opponent. Most definitely, I'm Crawford's toughest potential opponent. I didn't know how he was going to do the jump to super middleweight to potentially fight Saul Canelo Alvarez. I didn't know how he was going to jump that many weights. I didn't feel any type of way. It's not really a mismatch. Canelo started at 154, and Canelo's not really a big guy.
We said, yeah, they called, and we said, yeah. We never heard nothing else back about it. So, yeah, like,
right.
I mean, I respect it, though. I mean, get your money. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But don't be capping on it.
Ennis also feels that the way he was awarded the title was not ideal. It's definitely not how I wanted it. You know, I'd rather take it from somebody. There's nothing I can do. I couldn't say no. I couldn't say yes. They just elevated me up. Nothing I can do, but I'm gonna defend the belt and do what I need to do.
It's not fair, but that's the game, bro. Because trust me, this game is more business than sport.
So what do you do if you're Boots? What do you do to get those?
You look to maximize your money and fight somebody that's willing to step in the ring with you.
He is also looking forward to the return of his friend Stephen Fulton, who recently faced a tough defeat against Naoya Inoue. Ennis is confident that Fulton will bounce back stronger than ever. "Scooter, definitely," said Ennis about Fulton. "I can't wait to see him back in the ring. He's gonna do his thing. He's gonna prove everybody wrong. He's going to prove everybody wrong. A lot of people have been talking." Ennis added, "That's all I'm gonna say. He gonna come back and show everybody who he really is. He gonna be back soon." Now, Jaron Ennis showcased his remarkable talent recently in Philadelphia, delivering a stunning stoppage victory against David Avanesian. In his first defense of the IBF World Welterweight title, Ennis methodically broke down Avanesian, culminating in a powerful counterpunch that floored his opponent in the 5th round. Avanesian's team, recognizing the toll the fight had taken, informed the referee to stop the fight before the next round could begin. Ennis's victory was particularly significant because he managed to stop Avanesian a round quicker than Terence Crawford did in their 2022 bout. Now, Crawford was reportedly tuned into the fight and didn't hesitate to share his thoughts on social media afterward. He pointed out the changing narrative around Avanesian, noting that while he was criticized for defending his title against Avanesian, Ennis received praise from his promoter, Eddie Hearn, for defeating the same opponent. In response to a fan who highlighted Ennis's quicker finish, Crawford's reply was succinct and telling, commenting, "LOL." Although Crawford appears to be moving away from the welterweight division, Ennis's performance caught the eye of Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh. Impressed by Ennis's skills, Al-Sheikh expressed interest in arranging a future fight between Ennis and Crawford at 154 pounds. Hearn, who was thrilled with the impressive hometown turnout for Ennis, also declared that a matchup between these two fighters could be the best fight in boxing. Ennis's emphatic victory and the subsequent reactions have only heightened the excitement and the heat within the welterweight division. His clear determination to face Crawford, coupled with his impressive display against Avanesian, sets the stage for what could be one of the most eagerly anticipated matchups in the sport. Now, Ennis is eager to face Crawford and capture the 4 other welterweight titles Crawford currently holds. After a year out of the ring, Ennis insists he's ready to showcase his skills against the division's best. "Sign the contract," Ennis said confidently. If Crawford wanted to fight, he would have stayed at 147. He already said he wants to move up and be undisputed at 154. Ennis is clear about his ambitions. "I don't care who I fight," he added. "I just want to fight the top guys. They will bring the best out of me. When you fight someone who's sharp just like you, it makes you better. Who knows, the fight could be easier when you fight someone on your level or who's supposed to be above your level. I feel like I can be phenomenal. I was off for a year, and I feel like I've got so many more tools in my arsenal. I just got the opportunity to show it against a top guy."
Like I always say, I don't care. I just want to fight the top guys, the best guys. They're going to bring the best out of me, and not these guys that's on the lower level. You know, when you fight somebody that's sharp and good like you know, it make you better. Who knows, the fight could be easier.
Despite his dominant performance, Ennis faced criticism from Crawford online. Crawford continued with his comments and questioned whether Ennis was truly world-class, noting that while Ennis delivered a brutal 4th and 5th round to finish the fight, he was getting caught early on by Avanesian. However, Ennis brushed off the criticism and remained focused on improving for his next fight. "Avanesian was moving a lot more than I was expecting him to move," Ennis said. "I thought he was going to come forward a little more. My timing was a little off. I saw everything, but my timing was just off a little bit. Everything will be good. Next time I'll be better, a little sharper."
Side of David Avanesian.
David Avanesian has landed a few good power shots, but not nearly as intense.
Throughout the fight, Ennis landed big shots to the head and body of Avanesyan, causing significant swelling to the Russian's face. Avanesyan, however, proved to be a tough opponent, returning punches and refusing to wilt under the pressure. Ennis, always confident in his ability to get the stoppage, credited his father's advice for his impressive finish in rounds 4 and 5. "I knew I was going to stop him," Ennis said. "Every round I could feel him breaking down and decreasing, but I definitely knew I was going to stop him. It was just a matter of time. When I got back to the corner, my pops was just saying, 'Have fun a little bit, don't look for it.' I wasn't looking for it. I was chilling, just trying to find my groove. I started having fun in the 4th and 5th rounds, then I ended up catching him in the 5th, and that's all she wrote."
You get a little lack of how many more punches can it absorb? Swelling on the left side of the jaw of Avanesyan as well.
I mean, Boots is so athletic.
Ennis's performance not only thrilled the Philadelphia crowd, but also sent a clear message to the welterweight division. He's ready for the top contenders and is eager to prove himself against the best. With Eddie Hearn by his side, Ennis is confident that the big fights are within reach, and he's determined to make his mark as one of the top fighters in boxing. Hearn, the promoter for Jaron "Boots" Ennis, had plenty to say following Ennis's recent victory over David Avanesyan. Despite Ennis's impressive performance, Hearn was realistic about the immediate future and the prospects of a bout with Terence Crawford. He acknowledged that while Ennis calling out Crawford generated a great soundbite, it's not likely to happen soon. Crawford has his eyes set on a lucrative fight with Canelo Alvarez, and he won't risk that payday by fighting someone as dangerous as Ennis. That was Boots Ennis 1 year out, dismantling a world-class fighter with ease in there, having fun, doing what he does in the future for Boots Ennis, Hearn said. While Hearn praised Ennis's performance, it was clear that Avanesyan provided a challenging fight. Avanesyan landed his fair share of punches, and Ennis had to work hard for his victory. It wasn't as one-sided as Hearn suggested, with Ennis getting hit more than expected and looking relieved when the fight was stopped. However, Hearn remains incredibly optimistic about Ennis's future. Boots Ennis is the future of boxing. That's what this man is. He's very humble. You never hear him say too much. I'll say it. I think he beats everyone. I think this is a special fighter that needs to be tested against the best in the world. And that's our job now, said Hearn. He emphasized Ennis's potential and humility, positioning him as a top contender in the welterweight division who deserves to face the best fighters out there.
I said to His Excellency tonight, I said, I think you should put him on the Bivol Beterbiev undercard in Riyadh, you know, because you can't just keep coming back all the time.
Hearn also highlighted the importance of keeping Ennis active. Activity is the key. Too many of these great young fighters are too inactive. We must get him back out in October or November, he said. He expressed a strong desire to return to Philadelphia for future fights, acknowledging the city's rich boxing history and the strong support from local fans. We'd love to return to Philadelphia. We've got to bring the biggest fights here, the unification fights. He's going to be here for a long time. The immediate plan for Ennis, according to Hearn, is to pursue unification fights in the welterweight division before considering a move up in weight. The plan is unification. Before he moves to 154, which is inevitable at some point, we want to unify the division. Mario Barrios, Imanta Stanionis, any of these guys. Hearn stated, he is committed to securing the best possible fights for Ennis and is eager to see him compete against other top contenders in the division.
He said, look, do you think Boots will fight Crawford? I said, yeah.
Send a contract.
I said, yeah. Here's what he said. That was his reply. Send the contract.
I said, send the contract.
Yeah. So that's for next year, but
if the unification fights can't be arranged quickly, Hearn acknowledges that Ennis may need to move up to 154 pounds to pursue bigger opportunities. Ennis looked massive during his fight against Avanesyan, and a move to junior middleweight seems inevitable. If Hearn can't get the unification fights set up for Boots rapidly at 147, he needs to move up to 154 to go after the bigger fights in that weight class. He looked massive tonight, like a fighter that should be competing at junior middleweight, Hearn added. In the meantime, if a unification fight isn't possible in the next few months, Hearn might have Ennis defend his IBF title against the top contender, potentially Cody Crowley. The promoter is dedicated to keeping Ennis active and ensuring he faces high-caliber opponents to continue building his reputation and skills.
Crawford is a huge step up in an opponent. Is there any possibility maybe coming back to Philly and doing one of the larger stadiums with Crawford?
Well, that'd be nice. Across the road, you know. Look, just to make it clear for me.
Hearn's comments make it clear that he believes in Ennis's potential to dominate the welterweight division and beyond. He sees Ennis as a future star in boxing and is committed to providing him with the opportunities to prove himself against the best in the sport. With Hearn's support and guidance, Ennis's journey to the top promises to be an exciting one, filled with significant challenges and potential unification bouts that could solidify his place among boxing's elite. But it gets more interesting with Roy Jones's comments on Ennis Roy Jones Jr., a multi-weight world champion and regarded as one of the best fighters of his era, shared his thoughts on Jaron "Boots" Ennis and his potential matchup with Terence Crawford in an interview with YSM Sports Media.
You gotta understand, I do understand some of the monopoly play in the game, but those are great fights.
Jones Jr. emphasized the significant challenge Ennis presents to Crawford, a two-time undisputed champion. However, he also highlighted some uncertainties surrounding Ennis's capabilities. Jones Jr. pointed out that while Ennis has showcased remarkable skills, there is still a lingering question about his chin. I don't know yet because we haven't seen Boots in against a guy that has touched him enough to really test his chin, so that's the only thing we don't know about him yet. We don't know if he can take a real punch, he explained. This uncertainty adds an interesting element to any potential fight involving Ennis, as everyone is eager to see how he handles being tested by a powerful puncher. Despite this uncertainty, Jones Jr. did not downplay Ennis's talents. He acknowledged Ennis's comprehensive skill set, stating, "As far as skills go, he got everything. That fight could be very difficult because he has everything. When a guy is as talented with the skill level that Boots has, anything can happen." This high praise from a boxing legend like Jones Jr. just shows that there is the potential that Ennis has to become a dominant force in the sport.
Can't take the real punch yet because we haven't seen it, but as far as the skill goes, he got everything. And that fight could be a very difficult fight because he has everything. And when a guy is talented and has the skill level that Boots has, anything can happen.
Jones Jr. also acknowledged the skills of Crawford. But don't get me wrong, Bud has the skill level too. Great fight, Jones Jr. added. This comment highlights the respect he has for Crawford's abilities and the excitement that a matchup between Crawford and Ennis would generate. While Ennis is currently focused on unifying the welterweight titles, similar to what Crawford achieved before him, he has also expressed interest in moving up to 154 pounds to make significant fights happen. And now, with the backing of Riyadh Season's Turki Al-Sheikh, the possibility of such fights becomes more realistic. Ennis's ambition to move up in weight shows his willingness to challenge himself and take on the best fighters available. Crawford, on the other hand, has his immediate sights set on his first challenge in the junior middleweight division against WBA champion Israel Madrimov. Should Crawford emerge victorious, he may still look beyond Ennis and target a high-profile fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez. This potential bout with Alvarez represents a lucrative and prestigious opportunity for Crawford, possibly delaying any showdown with Ennis. Well, as Terence Crawford prepares to move up to super welterweight to face Israel Madrimov on August 3rd, the boxing community is full of talks on the potential future matchups. One such anticipated showdown is between Crawford and rising star Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Andre Rozier, the respected trainer of Danny Jacobs, recently shared his thoughts on this potential fight. Ennis, who hails from Philadelphia, has been making waves in the boxing world. He recently signed with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing, and there's excitement building around his expected fight in his home city later this year. Ennis's impressive performances have put him on a collision course with Crawford, one of the sport's most accomplished fighters. Rozier, however, believes that Crawford, a three-weight world champion, would have the upper hand in a matchup with Ennis. Speaking to Fight Hype, Rozier expressed his confidence in Crawford's abilities, even as he moves up to the 154-pound division. "I got Terence Crawford at 154 now," Rozier said. "Boots is the only one I can see, but I'm with TC all the way. I'm with Terence Crawford all the way."
The only one, Boots is the only one I can see, but I'm TC all the way. I'm Terence Crawford all the way.
Rozier's endorsement of Crawford highlights the high regard in which the fighter is held within the boxing community. Crawford's skill, experience, and track record of success across multiple weight classes make him a formidable opponent for any fighter, including the talented Ennis. For Ennis, a fight against Crawford represents the ultimate target. It's a chance to prove himself against one of the best in the sport and to potentially unify the welterweight titles. With his recent signing to Matchroom and the backing of Eddie Hearn, Ennis is well positioned to continue his rise and secure high-profile fights.
Yeah, I like to see knockouts, and he provides them. So I'm TC all the way.
Gotcha. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you, man.
And that's the same thing with Crawford. When asked by Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour about his preferred next bout, Terence Crawford made his stance unmistakably clear. Where I'm at right now, I'm looking at the fight that makes the most sense, and that's not Boots, Crawford stated. Canelo's gonna bring way more to my legacy and way more to my bank account. Crawford emphasized the significance of such a fight for his career. Because at the end of the day, when boxing is done, what will we have? I would have a legacy that's something people talk about for ages. And I would have a bank account that would last for ages as well. This comment underlines Crawford's strategic focus on maximizing both his professional achievements and financial security, showcasing why he sees a fight with Canelo Alvarez as more impactful than a bout with Jaron "Boots" Ennis. What's your take? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more updates. See you in the next one.